All you are is a worthless idiot. At this new company, dead weight is not necessary. It's time to reduce expenses, beginning with you. Tom Anderson, the executive vice president, raised his voice and yelled at me. He had always made fun of me and looked down on me. I hadn't been able to resist him until now. I had reached my limit, though. I looked him in the eye and started talking gently. I'm Simon Smith, and I'm 27 years old. I work for a big company that is fairly well known. I received my degree from a nearby university with mediocre rankings. It was not nationally renowned. However, the majority of my coworkers are well educated because the company I joined is a major player. Because of the results-driven mentality at my first sales assignment, nobody gave a damn about my school background. However, after I was moved to the administrative department, I've discovered that many people here actually care. It's good to meet you. My name is Simon Smith. I'm excited to collaborate with each of you. I was greeted with little applause on my first day in the administrative department. The senior worker who was tasked with mentoring me, Hazel, smiled strangely and gave me the rundown. A highly educated manager named David Marmar oversees the administrative division. His team naturally prioritizes education as well. Unusually for this organization, Hazel has a high school diploma. She clarified that she was hired because a relative Fu had previously had a prominent position here. She was a struggling single mother at the time, and her relative helped her out. She acknowledged that many people at the time denigrated her for being a low-educated hiree through connections, even though she has since remarried and settled down. Additionally, Executive Vice President Tom Anderson has a significant impact here. He is even more fixated on schooling than David is, and his duties frequently involve administrative work. I see. I knew Tom's face even though I hadn't talked to him much. I ponder how he may respond if he learned more about me. I promised to keep a low profile because he was often in the administrative department. This guy is a new one, isn't he? Tom said, "Nice to meet you." He approached me despite my best efforts to avoid him. David, who stood beside him, grinned. "I heard you did okay in sales, but that was probably just luck. You're nothing but dead weight here in admin." From the start, David was always critical of me and found fault in everything I did. Sorry about that. I wasn't doing anything to justify being called dead weight, but arguing back would only make things worse. So I apologized instead. Seeing this, Tom let out a loud, exaggerated sigh. Seriously, HR makes mistakes sometimes hiring people like you. We don't need low-educated fools here. Even though there was no real reason, Tom and David continued to pester me with snide remarks. After I was finally released, Hazel invited me for lunch and shared more details. Sorry I couldn't step in to help. Tom is still the executive vice president, so you never know what he might do if you push back. She apologized with a troubled look, but I quickly waved it off. Oh no, it's really no big deal. You've got a strong mental fortitude, Simon. When I was taking maternity leave after having a child with my current husband, those two gave me so much grief that I was mentally crushed. Though they said nothing to other female employees, they had specifically targeted Hazel with relentless passive-aggressive remarks. By the way, her relative Fu, who had helped to get the job, retired long ago. So Hazel now has no connections or influence and is just a regular employee. Why are they so obsessed with education anyway? Well, the founder and current president are both known for valuing education. But there's another rumor about Tom. Apparently, Tom's father was the CEO of a smaller company. The company was eventually passed down to Tom's older brother, despite only having a high school education. His brother was recognized by their father as having talent for management and was chosen as a successor. Until then, Tom had believed he would be chosen because he was more educated than his brother. Must have felt like a betrayal from his father. That's probably what made him start obsessing over education. I didn't know there was such a complicated backstory. Still, that's no excuse for demeaning others. My son is taking his college entrance exams this year, but he's struggling. How about you? Oh, wait, you probably didn't study that hard. Your college wasn't exactly prestigious. Tom feigned seeking advice while mocking my educational background. Take care of this, will you? A simple task like this should be easy for someone as unqualified as you. I need it done today. Without even waiting for my reply, he dumped his busy work on me. It was clear that Tom saw me as both a stress relief punching bag and a convenient errand boy. David's frequent business trips made him less of a nuisance. But Tom, who was almost always at the office, would deliberately come to the admin department to harass me. He seemed to enjoy watching me squirm. Can someone like that really be a company executive? This place is in serious trouble, I muttered bitterly. But it turned out the company was indeed in deep trouble. Recently, our company sold all its shares to another corporation CEO. We became a subsidiary of that company and announced plans for a management turnaround. As a result, the workload in the admin department skyrocketed. For the past few days, I've been carrying boxes filled with documents to various departments. Being the youngest in the admin department, I was assigned all the heavy lifting. Even during such a busy time, Tom made it a point to bother me. Well, looks like you're busy. Manual labor suits you. Why don't you transfer to a factory position? I heard there's an opening. Grinning slightly, he taunted me. Usually I'd humor him, but today I was too swamped to deal with this nonsense. Yeah, sure. Sorry, but I'm in a bit of a rush. Apparently, my dismissive response didn't sit well with him. Tom grabbed my arm roughly, his face irritated. Hey, don't walk away. Listen when I'm talking to you. Because of his sudden grab, I dropped the box I was holding. The documents inside scattered everywhere, and a bundle hit Tom's foot. Ouch! Watch it. Already stressed, I snapped and retorted without thinking. You're the one who yanked my arm. Tom, hearing that, his face turned red with rage. Are you blaming me because of your mistake? I got hurt. Hurt? You gotta be kidding. I couldn't help but show my exasperation. Seeing my reaction only made him angrier. Employees passing by stared at the commotion, their eyes wide with curiosity. No apology? Typical of a lowlife like you. Useless dead weight, like you has no place in this new company. We're cutting costs. You're fired. Getting this mad over something so trivial. He's like a child, I thought. I couldn't believe I'd been taking orders from someone like him all this time. Suddenly, everything seemed ridiculous, and I found myself saying, well, isn't that a coincidence? I couldn't agree more. It'll soon become clear who's the real dead weight in this company. Ignoring his loud complaints, I quickly picked up the scattered documents. Tom kept pestering me, but I shot him a glare and said, if you're going to fire me, go ahead. I'm busy, so excuse me. I said it with a firm tone. I walked away. Even Tom seemed taken aback, standing there stunned as he watched me leave. The next day, both Tom and I were present at a board meeting. Tom was in his usual seat, while I stood beside the newly appointed shareholder and CEO of a major corporation, Billy Smith. Tom, the current president, and other board members stared at me, their expressions demanding to know why I was there. Then CEO Billy spoke. Let's begin the board meeting. I imagine some of you are curious, so let me clarify. This gentleman here is assisting me. Let's proceed with the meeting. I gave a polite nod and smiled at the board members. While some looked unsatisfied, their faces changed to shock at Billy's next words. Well, I'd like to start the meeting, but first, all board members are fired. Effective immediately. What? Tom was the first to exclaim in disbelief. Other board members looked confused or stood in stunned silence. Sir, what are you saying? Billy fixed Tom with a stern gaze. This company is plagued by elitism. My company has no room for such a mindset. In fact, we received numerous complaints from employees about it. He placed a thick stack of documents on the table. These are all complaints from the staff. While the founder and current president may have fostered this culture, that doesn't excuse making employees miserable. His sharp words made the current president, Tom, and other board members who had targeted employees with elitist attitudes avert their eyes. Billy then turned to me and gave a small nod. I nodded back at him. At my father's request. Yes, Billy Smith is my father. He's the CEO of one of the top companies in the country. To prepare as a successor, I had joined a different company to gain experience. However, When that company faced financial trouble, my father decided to buy it out. Our family's corporation boasts industry leading production capacity, with numerous factories nationwide, and my father had long aimed to bring this company under its umbrella. Now, with the acquisition complete, his plan had succeeded. I had been educated by my father since I was a child, and though it might sound arrogant, I achieved decent results. There was a reason I chose to attend a local university. When I was in high school, my mother fell ill. She required long-term hospitalization, so I focused on a university near the hospital. By attending that university, I could quickly be by her side if needed and visit her every day. For me, academic credentials weren't a top priority. I had already learned everything necessary for my father, and I didn't see any point in being overly concerned about university rankings. My father, who also didn't prioritize academics, supported my decision, saying he'd feel better knowing I was close to my mother. By the way, my mother has since fully recovered and is living a healthy life now. While I don't dismiss the importance of education, the obsession with it at this company is abnormal. There are likely many reasons for the company's poor performance, but I believe its excessive focus on academic credentials is part of the problem. I reported everything that had happened at the company to my father. The truth is, my father had invited me to attend a meeting for educational purposes. At this point, I'm still just a regular employee and wouldn't normally have access to board meetings. It was a valuable learning opportunity, and my father took advantage of it. While my father and I share the same last name, it's common enough that Tom hasn't connected the dots. Additionally, I resemble my mother and look nothing like my father. Not that Tom has a composure to notice such things right now anyway. If you're close to the COO, he better put in a good word for me. A good word about what? Tell him I'd never harassed you. And now, better bury those other reports from employees. Got it? I almost laughed. Even now, he was trying to order me around from a position of superiority. Why would I do that? Deciding it was time to make things clear, I replied coldly, "If I owed you anything, maybe it'd be trouble. If you're fired, I'll gladly cooperate to ensure it happens." Tom looked utterly baffled by my words. What? Why? The question is why not? Did you really think I'd keep obeying you just because I have until now? Hearing this, Tom nodded, still confused. I let out a deep sigh, louder than ever. The only reason I obeyed you was because you had the power to fire someone like me. I didn't want to risk losing my job. That's all. As my words sank in, Tom's face turned even paler. So what happens to me now? Tom asked. Sue, most Smiths said he'd reorganize the board after dismissing everyone. Will I be able to stay in the company? Tilting my head slightly, I replied, Well, who knows, but at the very least, you'll probably lose your current position. It might be hard to fire you outright for harassment, but I think you'll face some serious consequences. Tom had harassed more than just me. Some of the reports were downright appalling. Personally, I'd like you to resign. You once called me a useless burden, but the truth is, your presence here is far more damaging. You're much worse than I could ever be. Tom's eyes widened in despair as he looked at me. Whatever happens from now on, it's all the result of your own actions. You brought this on yourself. Those words seemed to be the final blow. Tom collapsed weakly to the ground. After this, as my father had declared, the board was reorganized. The current president was ousted, and a competent vice president was promoted to the role of president. Problematic board members were stripped of their positions and faced severe penalties, including demotions. Some were even forced out under the guise of voluntary resignation. Tom was one of them. How did you pull it off? I thought Tom would cling to his position no matter what, especially with his son's college expenses coming up. My father, with a solemn expression, simply replied, You're not ready to know. I couldn't begin to imagine what methods he used. In time, I'll learn from him at my own pace. As for David, one of Tom's loyal followers, he was reassigned to another department, bringing peace to my workplace. Hazel, one of the victims, expressed her relief and joy at the improved work environment. She's an incredibly skilled employee, and I hope she continues to thrive here for years to come. As for me, I'll keep honing my skills at this company, striving every day to become a person worthy of succeeding my father as the next CEO.